Chapter 86. The Fall of Generals and Princes. When Jiang Ziya had finished writing, he summoned his generals and announced, "Generals, I am going to give you each a sheet with a spell written on it. Put it inside your helmet or under your hair. With this protection, the white bone pennant cannot harm you, and the pass will soon be ours." Jiang Ziya challenged the next day. Under orders from Deng Kun, Bianji ran out to attack Jiang Ziya. But the Zhou generals circled him with war cries and the roar of gongs and drums. Bianji frantically fought his way out and rushed over to his pennant, expecting the enemy to fall like flies at his feet. When they chased him straight through without blinking an eyelash, Bianji gasped in astonishment and cried, "Heaven has forsaken us." He then turned and escaped within the pass. Jiang Ziya did not let his army continue the chase. He ordered his men to take the pennant down and let Wei Hu retrieve his club and Thunderbolt's gold cudgel. "How many captives did you take today, General?" Rui Ji asked purposely when he saw Bianji return in defeat. "I'm sorry to say that I was defeated. Heaven is not with us. The pennant had no effect whatsoever." Bianji complained. "You took 4 generals a few days ago. What happened today?" Rui Ji asked with a smile. It must be that Bianji realized the strength of the Zhou army and pretended defeat to let the enemy rush in behind him. If our soldiers at the gate hadn't been so quick, they would have all been taken as prisoners. This treachery cannot be treated lightly. Deng Kun said harshly. "Take him out and cut his head off at once," he ordered. Bianji had no chance to defend himself. He was bound up, taken out, and swiftly executed. Ouyang Chun was stunned when he saw what had happened. Deng Kun began to explain. "We will tell you the truth. The Shang dynasty is near its end. All the nobles have joined Zhou in a united front, and this is the last pass protecting the king in his capital. Let's hand it over to Zhou and attack the despot with King Wu. We are no match for the Zhou army. Think it over, General." Seething with fury, Ouyang Chun swore loudly. "You may cut my head off and slice me in 1,000 pieces, but I will never be so ungrateful as to rebel." Both Deng Kun and Rui Ji yelled back at him. "Are all the nobles on the United Front rebels? Are they ungrateful to the Shang dynasty? They have been forced into this position because they want to save the people. You understand nothing." Ouyang Chun screamed. "Your Majesty! You mistakenly appointed these 2 traitors as commanders. I'm a loyal minister, so I must put them to death." He leapt forward to attack the 2 nobles, and they fought back as one. How could Ouyang Chun fight alone? He was soon slashed to death by Rui Ji. The 2 nobles then ordered that the 4 captives be set free. Huang Feihu entered the headquarters and happily greeted Deng Kun, his brother-in-law. The 4 generals returned to report to Jiang Ziya, and soon thereafter, Deng Kun and Rui Ji arrived outside the camp gate. Jiang Ziya went out to meet them and said, "Wisely you have come to us today. Good ministers must find a good master." The 2 nobles invited Jiang to enter the pass, and so he immediately ordered his army to move forward. They marched through the streets, the crowds cheering and clapping on both sides. After the treasure houses and population records were checked over, King Wu ordered a big banquet to entertain generals and issued rewards to all the soldiers. Several days later, the Zhou army marched on to Mianxu County, a strategic area close to Jiaoge. Zhang Kui, the garrison commander of Mianxu County, held a military conference to discuss the situation with his 2 vanguard generals, Wang Zuo and Zheng Chuan. "There's only a river between us and Jiaoge. It's lucky I'm here to take care of them," Zhang Kui said with a smirk. The next day, Jiang Ziya received a letter from Jiang Wenhuan, the East Grand Duke, asking for reinforcements. Jingjia and Nejia volunteered to go, and Jiang approved their immediate departure. Nangong Kuo went first to challenge at Mianxu County, and Wang Zuo came out to meet him. After only 20 rounds, General Nangong slashed the Shang warrior in two. When Huang Feihu challenged the next day, Jiang Kui sent out Zheng Chun, but he was quickly stabbed to death. Jiang Kui began to worry after losing two generals, and Jiang Ziya, jubilant with his successes, ordered his whole army to attack the city wall in one wild rush. Jiang Kui discussed this serious situation with his wife, Gao Langying, in the back chamber. "Don't worry, my dear," she comforted him. "You're good at magic, and you have a wonderful riding beast. You shouldn't fear those treacherous bandits. Don't you know that there were many heroes and great generals at each of the 5 passes? None of them could stop the Zhou army. The situation is extremely serious, but all His Majesty does is drink and take pleasure in women. How can we sleep soundly while this is going on?" Jiang Kui groaned. When they heard that the city wall had been attacked, Jiang Kui and his wife got on their horses and rushed out to the front. Seeing Jiang Ziya before him, accompanied by all his generals, Jiang Kui yelled across, "How do you do, Commander Jiang?" Jiang moved forward and said, "Dear General Jiang, don't you realize the will of heaven? Surrender now and you will be made a duke. If you plan to hold out, look at what happened at each of the 5 passes. You act against the will of heaven and offend the honor of His Majesty. You have won by chance and will meet your end today." Jiang Kui replied with a smile, "How can you be blind to what's happening before you? It's only a few hundred li from here to the capital. What can you do with such a small piece of land? How can you stand against such a great army? A single log cannot support a huge building that's about to collapse. Think it over." Jiang Ziya smiled back. Jiang Kui furiously spurred his horse forward to attack Jiang Ziya. He was checked by Ji Shuming and Ji Shusheng, 2 younger brothers of King Wu. After a few rounds, the 2 princes turned and gave up ground purposely to induce Jiang Kui to chase after them. They had no idea that Jiang Kui's riding beast, called the Black Smoke Single-Horned Beast, could run as fast as lightning. Jiang Kui patted the horn of his Black Smoke beast and overtook the princes in a few strides. They had no time to even turn around before Jiang Kui raised his long-handled cutlass and slashed the 2 to death. Jiang Ziya was surprised to lose the 2 princes so suddenly. He ordered his men to withdraw immediately. When King Wu heard the news, he mourned the loss of his 2 younger brothers. As the generals sat discussing what to do, it was reported that Cheng Heihu, the North Grand Duke, had arrived. Cheng and his 3 generals, Wen Ping, Cui Ying, and Jiang Xiong, were invited in. "How long have you been in Mengjin, dear Duke?" Jiang Ziya asked after the greetings were over. Cheng Heihu replied, "We first took Chentong Pass and then set up camp in Mengjin. We've been there several months already and have come to pay our respects, as we heard you had recently arrived. Will you be able to meet the dukes as soon as possible, so that we can attack the tyrant as a united front?" Jiang Ziya immediately ordered a great feast for Black Tiger Cheng Heihu and his party. At the military conference the next day, Jiang asked, "Who would like to meet Jiang Kui in combat? As we are here today, let me, Wen Ping, Cui Ying, and Jiang Xiong take him on." Cheng Heihu volunteered. With Jiang Ziya's approval, the 4 generals rode from the camp with an army. Cheng Heihu let out a roar when they reached the front. "Jiang Kui, why don't you surrender in the face of such a great army? You will only destroy yourself." Jiang Kui swore wildly. "You bloody bastard! You murdered your own brother to usurp his high post. You're a wild and barbarous beast." Jiang Kui attacked Black Tiger Cheng Heihu with his cutlass, and Cheng met him with his double axes. Wen Ping joined in with his long-handled fork, Cui Ying with his ridged hammers, and Jiang Xiong with his woolen grasping rope. They surrounded Jiang Kui in violent combat. Noticing Huang Feihu standing aside, Jiang Ziya said, "General Huang, Duke Cheng Heihu and his 3 generals are fighting Jiang Kui now. You should go out to the front to help them and revenge your son's death." Huang Feihu left the camp on his divine ox with a shout. Duke Chong, here I come. The 5 generals circled around Zhang Kui, but even after 30 or 40 rounds, there was no decisive victor. Chong Heihu then spurred his fiery-eyed beast out of the circle and ran away as if defeated. Realizing that Duke Chong meant to release his hawk, the 4 other generals also turned and ran. When he was 2 or 3 bow shots away, Zhang Kui patted the horn of his beast and in a wink was at the back of Wenping. General Zhang then lifted his cutlass and slashed him in 2. Black Tiger Chong Heihu was cut to pieces in the same way, and had no time to open his gourd to release the magic hawk. When they saw that both Chong Heihu and Wenping had been slashed to death, Huang Feihu, Shui Ying, and Jiang Xiong ran back to attack Zhang Kui once again. Suddenly, a woman general appeared on a peach-colored pony. It was Gao Lun Ying, Zhang Kui's wife. After several rounds, she took a red gourd from her bag and picked out 49 sun needles. When she threw them into the air, the 3 generals were blinded by the bright light, and in no time at all, slashed to bits by Zhang Kui. 5 Zhou generals, Huang Feihu, Chong Heihu, Wenping, Sui Ying, and Jiang Xiong, lost their lives in this battle. They were deified soon thereafter as the 5 gods of the 5 famous mountains in China, metric ton. Song, metric ton. Tai, metric ton. Hua, and Tuheng mountains. Jiang Ziya was much alarmed to hear that all 5 generals had been lost in combat. As he sat pondering, Yang Jian suddenly returned with more food supplies. After he greeted the commander, Yang Jian begged, "I've been transporting food for so long. May I have the chance to serve in the front in combat?" "Yes, we need you now, as we will reach Mengjing very soon," Jiang Ziya said happily. When he learned that Huang Feihu had sacrificed his life on the battlefield, Yang Jian sighed and said, "The whole Huang family is so loyal. Both father and sons have given their lives for the dynasty. What makes Zhang Kui so terrible? What can he do really? Why didn't you fight him first, Nejia? You're one of the vanguard generals." Yang Jian asked Nejia seriously. "I had to let Duke Chong have the chance to achieve merit on the battlefield. I never expected they would all be sacrificed," Nejia replied. Just then, it was reported that Zhang Kui had come to challenge again. Eager to revenge his elder brother, Huang Feibiao rushed in to beg Jiang Ziya to allow him to fight. Jiang approved his request and ordered Yang Jian to accompany him to the front. Huang Feibiao attacked Zhang Kui without a word, but after 20 or 30 rounds, was already dead tired. Frantic with his desire to get revenge, he'd spent all his energy and was easily slashed down by Zhang Kui. Yang Jian saw how Huang Feibiao was killed, and he noticed the horn on Zhang Kui's beast. He knew that the animal was their real enemy. "You bloody bastard," he called. "You've hurt many of our generals with your witchcraft, but I'll get you now and slice you into 100,000 pieces for the deaths of our colleagues." Yang Jian and Zhang Kui fought fiercely, cutlass against cutlass. After about 40 rounds, Yang Jian purposely let Zhang Kui bump him and take him captive. Yang Jian was carried into the city, and when he refused to kneel before Zhang Kui, he was swiftly executed. It was soon reported that Yang Jian's head had been hung on a bamboo pole, as a warning to the enemy, but moments later, Zhang Kui's horseboy came running in with fresh news. "Your riding beast's head suddenly dropped to the ground. It died instantly. We're completely baffled," the horseboy cried. Zhang Kui paled with fright. He stamped his feet and pondered what might have caused his beast to lose its head. When it was reported that the Zhou general they had just executed was waiting again outside the city wall, he suddenly knew what had happened. "That bloody rascal tricked me," he cried with hatred. Zhang Kui rode out on a new steed with his long-handled cutlass. He cursed Yang Jian. "You damned rascal! You cruelly slaughtered my beast. I can't let you live any longer. You got so many of our generals with your wonderful beast, so I had to take care of it first. I'll get you soon enough." Yang Jian said with a smile. They fought again for 20 rounds until Yang Jian allowed himself to be captured a second time. Back in the city, Zhang Kui told his wife the story of his beast and how Yang Jian had fooled him. I've captured him again, but what shall we do with him this time? Zhang Kui asked Gao Lanying. Let me see him with my own eyes. Gao said. When he was brought before her, Gao Lanying smiled and said, I know how to deal with this sorcerer. Kill a black cock and a black dog. Mix their blood with human urine and feces, and after you've tied him up with a strong cord through his collarbone, we pour the dirty mixture over his head and body. You must stamp charms and spells first so he cannot escape with his witchcraft. You may finally cut his head off, and he will bother you no more. Zhang ordered his men to follow her instructions precisely. Gao stamped the spells herself, and when the executioner raised his sword and Yang's head fell with a thud, husband and wife smiled in delight at their success. Just as they were about to return to their quarters for a rest, a maidservant rushed up. Oh, General and Madam. Something terrible has happened. A few minutes ago, our old madam was resting in her chamber when blood mixed with urine and feces suddenly poured from the air all over her head and body. Her head fell off, and she died at once. She cried excitedly. We've been tricked by Yang Jian again. Zhang Kui roared. He then broke down and cried bitterly like a madman. My dear mother. She died for my sake, it's all my fault. Oh, woe is me. Zhang Kui ordered a big funeral for his mother. He buried her in an expensive coffin. Yang Jian returned to camp to see Jiang Ziya, and reported that he had slaughtered Zhang Kui's black smoke beast and his mother, in the hope of driving the enemy crazy. Jiang Ziya listened to the news with delight. Zhang Kui was eager to revenge his mother's death, and soon challenged the Zhou camp. If you want to know what happened to him, please read the next chapter.